All right, let's take a look at this. First play of the game. It's a bit of a dog's breakfast on defense. We've got guys not manning up or sure where they're at, guys reaching in, all that type of thing. Ball goes everywhere. Most of this stuff I think that we need to work on is offense based on this game. But if we're going to say anything about defense, it's really about just trying to stay in front of your player, in between him and the basket, whether he's got the ball or not. And you can see here that Brendan D's up on this guy and has him under control. It's when he is on the side of his body that he is able to get round. If he'd been able just to take that extra one lunge in front of that player and be in front of him between the basket, that could have been a different scenario potentially. But makes up for it here. You can see the exact thing I just spoke about. Brendan gets in front of the player. It's a bit of a late one. If he was there a little bit earlier, it would have been even. But ultimately, before the ball gets there, he's in between the ball and the player, and he's able to get that steal. So, as you'll see, when we're playing defense on the side of the offense, we'll struggle to get defensive stops. Whereas if we're able to get in front, in between, it makes a bigger difference. Now, this is a good offensive possession. The ball, after we get inside and shift the D, gets kicked back inside, and we've got a one-on-one opportunity there to score a basket. I miss it. Should have made it, but the key thing is that the shots that we're taking inside with multiple players guarding us, that isn't a good shot. If we've got 0 or 1, those are the ones we want to capitalize on. I'm not sure what happens here. It's a 2-on-1 defensive situation, 3-on-1 even, and we just kind of like let him go wherever, and both guys stand next to him but don't commit to playing defense on him, and he lit us up, this guy, at the first half, and he scores an easy bucket there. The story of this loss is about the collapse of offense in the second half. If you watch this game, we're moving the ball around well. Luke lost the handle on that one, but it happens to the best of us. Obviously, the stuff I'm saying works both ways. The other team's moving the ball around, getting it through a lot of hands, trying to get a good shot. They do get a nice one inside, and it's that moment where Brendan stands behind the offense. If he had been in front between the ball and his opposing player, he would have been able to get that. So another example of the rule. Again, we see them unable to get the ball inside until Luke gets caught behind his player rather than in between him and the ball. Brendan, he gets set on a pick here and then falls back into zone habits. He's left his guy. Good recovery. That creates that little bit of a gap there. We got lucky out of that. Off to the races. Jimmy worked to get the ball up and pull it out. Nice steady offense. This is the difference between the first half and the second half. That type of behaviour was something we'll do in the first half and not in the second. We move the ball around. So far, that's 4 passes. We get a nice shot. Doesn't go in, but good open look. Kev with a steal. 6 steals this game. What a gun. But we bring it out. Again, patience. Setting things up, getting spaced, moving it through hands. This one, we kick it across. It's had 4 people touch the ball so far. Brendan, this is by accident, but this screen Brendan sets here, when we kick the ball to the corner and then the big guy screens that bottom of the zone, that's going to be one of the best plays that we can do with this team. So if you're thinking about setting extra screens, rather than doing them on ball, which is not too bad at the top of the key sometimes or on the wing, those ones will really help us. We've got some guys that can really knock it down from the corner, probably half the team, to be honest. So if we can get guys inside to set a screen on the zone and free them up to shoot that open shot, that's going to be a big impact maker for us. We cough up a foul here again. We get a little bit lost, and the defender's not in front between the basket and his player with the ball. Here, again, we've thrown the ball long, but patience. We've pulled the ball out a little bit haphazard, but still, I mean, we don't have to dribble it into the corner. That's always a bit of a danger move there. But we get it out, balanced, taking our time. You can see here, 3 people so far. We're not rushing things. We're spreading out. Look how spread out their zone is as a result. And we get a nice little shot out of it and a bucket to Dane. The passing through the different hands, the spreading the floor, this is what's missing in the second half, and that's why we got smacked, 4-17. Here's a little pointer. Brendo and a few other big guys can, when they're playing defense, can really try and muscle guys up and chest them and whatever else. You can see here, though, that if you watch the defense I've played here, and we've almost come up with a steal with it, I'm staying in front, in between the basket and my player. Feet are moving. I'm actually not touching or making contact with him. I'm just that inch or two beside him, and that's a much better way to play, giving him a lot less room. The minute he sort of bumps into you, that's a terrible pass there, sorry. I think I subbed myself out after that. Oh, no, not yet. It's the next one I do. But the more we can do that, the better. Again, we fall up short here, but this is the offense we're playing the first half. A little bit haphazard, but, 2 sets of hands, 3 sets of hands, Jimmy kicking it out, driving in there, making it move, kicking it out, 5 sets of hands. Good shot there. I miss it. I'll blame that on the cut up finger that I've got at the moment, but yeah, good shot nonetheless. Same thing here. We're moving the ball through a good set of hands. We dribble inside, collapse the defense, come out. We're spread 4 people so far. Again, we've done that to the offense, 5 passes and a nice open shot there for Jimmy. I was saying how good my defense was before, but now look at this. This is terrible. Way to stay in front, moving the feet, turn around. But the minute that I reach, he's gone past me. Now we've got a 4-on-5 situation. He's going to the basket. Everyone's got to recover. He gets a bucket and a free throw. That's what I'm subbing myself out for, because that's terrible. But that's the stuff that we really need to steer clear from. It happens all the time. Guys putting pressure on the guy a little bit too hard, and then that little bit of a reach, or he gets around you like that one with Brendan before. But, we're not the only 2 culprits. It happens every single game. Those are the things we need to try and avoid. Dano here gets a little bit lost, and just an example how you've got to keep between your guy and the ball. Dane should be up a little bit. That's an easy pass, but to try and stop him, Brendan comes up, but as a result, Dane's sitting there playing no one, and we were lucky not to get scored on here, but this is an example of how Brendan's had to shift into that gap because Dane didn't go there, and as a result, they've had some pretty open looks. We were lucky to get away with that one, but good steal there by Kev, racking them up. The next play, again, we don't score here. We actually turn it over, but remember, 17 points in the first half, 4 points in the second. It's not that we have to score off this every single time. It's the fact that these are the habits that we have to instill and we have to repeat through a whole half. We've done this really well, and then what it feels like is that we've put our heads down because we've had a couple of turnovers or missed shots, and we've gone away from this. But what we've moved to is something one-on-one, selfish, individual basketball, and it was putrid, as you'll see shortly, and that's why we lost this game. This is probably one of the few lapses that we had, but you can see, AJ's playing no one on defense, playing man-on-man. He's defending no one, and as a result, there's a gap there in the play, and he's not able to get out and cover that. They score on us. Again, we're moving the ball, getting it through hands, cross. We're doing a lot of cross-court passes, but we can rub some of those out. Brendan dribbles into the corner, gets stuck again. Again, it's a dangerous spot. We've clustered it all up a little bit there as well. That can go to Kevin, then across to Brendan just as quick and a lot more safer. AJ's cut into that spot where there's everyone and clustered it up. Probably need to have just the 2 guys that AJ cut into in between Luke and Kevin rather than right next to Kevin there. It clogs it up a little bit, but we're still pushing through it, keeping the ball safe, moving it through hands, and this is the first signs of the behaviour from the second half that we don't want to do moving forward. And by that I mean, despite having a defender on us, can't see him, but he's out of frame, we decide to dribble into the key, which I know a few of us have done, but we've always, to this point, stopped and kicked it out. AJ has dribbled into the key going, 1, 2, 3, 3 on 1, or Brendan's there, you could say 3 on 2 if you want, but these aren't good odds, and as a result, he's jumped, had to go around the whole key, throwing it up on the other side of the backboard. It's just not the right shot. We can get easier ones, we can get more open ones. We can do that by replicating everything that we've done in this video prior to this, and that's the type of shots that we want to try and remove from what we're doing. And if you watch the second half coming up, you'll see that that's what we revert to doing a lot more. And you'll hear me saying this time and time again, bad shots equal fast breaks. When you're taking bad shots, you'll be giving up fast breaks, and even though we got out of it a little bit, that's exactly what happened. They don't score on a fast break layup, but they get a wide open shot there as a result of us having to run down there and get set, because we've had to run back on defense. People aren't set up, aren't switched on what's going on. We've had to sort of run out and cover people, leaving guys open. Extremely lucky that we don't get scored on there. Again, this is an example of the stuff that we want to stamp out of the game. We've got one guy taking on 3 red players that are in the key. And rather than stop, pull it out, we've gone 1-on-5. We've picked the ball up before we've even gotten to the key. And the defender's done nothing but played good D, shifted, stayed that inch away. And as a result, we're throwing the ball up and having a poor shot. It's a fast break. Luckily, Kevin with the steal, we get an easy bucket out of it. But Kevin doesn't save the day there. We've got a 5-on-4 situation, all because bad shots make fast breaks. If we don't get it through a lot of hands, the best thing is to get it inside-outside. We do get it inside, but there's 1-on-3 there, so Dane kicks it out, the opposite of what we just said, which is good. Luke dribbles it in. They don't come to him when he shoots a little jumper there. It's a good shot, and there's no fast breaks that come out of it. Those are more the ones that we want to shift towards doing, and that's what we shifted away from in the second half. This same play you're about to see has happened multiple times in this game now. Dane hit one before, but we move it through. Luke drives, kicks it out. We shift the defense. We're not trying to force up shots. We move it around 3-4 people, 3-4 passes. Brennan gets that wide open 3 and nails it. Those are good shots that if we stay disciplined, we can get every time down the floor. Now, we weren't perfect with the man. This one's a dog's breakfast. Again, AJ is guarded no one. He's in the middle of the court. Luke should be up on that ball a bit more. Now this comes... Luke sort of switches. AJ's there. He's getting posted up there because he's not between him and the ball. Should sort of switch around there and get it. But as a result, we're still sort of clustering. Luke's now left his guy because he didn't know what was going on before. Dane's come out. A little bit of talk, there'll be better. Luke's reached, and as a result, they've been able to get inside quite easily. Our defense was all over the shop and get a good shot. I don't know how he missed that, but I guess a result of good D from Brendan, who, look at his hands, at least they're half up right now. That's going to be the other key that I want to point out, is how rare it is that we have our hands up and how many turnovers we get as a result of it. In fact, this next one, you can see Brendan running through the key. We get a turnover here because Brendan's not turning around. He had a good spot there. If he was turning hands up, that would have been, at the very least, a good post-up situation or a way to collapse the defense. So that's one. Luke, again, they get the ball inside. I mean, some good D there, but he's managed to get the ball inside to start off with because we're not in between the ball and our defensive player. But we recover. That's good recovery. Kevin, man-on-man D, moving his feet, hands up. That gets a steal. Hands up, and we get a steal out of it. There's another example. Again, the difference between the first and the half. We kick the ball up ahead, but we don't just drive in there and shoot the ball. We've dribbled it in, collapsed the defense, kicked it out. AJ's given a head fake. Guy's leapt at it. He's dribbled around him, got to the basket, and put up a layup. There's a few guys in the paint there, but it's still a pretty decent shot. But again, these are much better shots and actions than what we're doing in the second half. Brendan gets his hands up on this one a bit quicker. We probably stopped this one too. This one, AJ's standing in the middle again, playing no one. We're man-on-man. He finally gets out to him quick, but that's how they get an easy look, and then the fact they're playing 5-on-4 for a while, they're able to get inside, get the hands up, and get an easy basket. Good little quick one there for Luke. That's an action that we can get more of as well. Second half, if we get an offensive rebound, we're jacking it straight up. You watch, but this one we get the rebound, pull it out, get set up. Again, this is the second time we've taken a little bit of time just to spread out and make some space. Good little screen there from Brendo, that opens it up. We've got an open shot there for Kev. Bang. That's another one from the corner, from passing it around 3-4 hands, 3-point. We scored 21 points as a team, and half of those, 9, have come from that exact action. Good boards here and quick turnaround. We throw it long. AJ turns, goes for the layup. This one is a better one because you can see there the guy wasn't able to get quite in front of him, in between him and the basket. So putting that up, that's not a bad option. Ultimately, we don't get it though. Second half here, they're moving around. They get it inside. Again, it's because the guy's not between the ball and the player. I mean, that's what was happening at the start. He didn't get it. Then they flick the ball around. He's able to get an angle there. But feet moving, hands up, not leaning in, not banging bodies, making it difficult. They miss the shot. That's the type of defense we want to see more of. Don't need to be touching them, don't need to be banging them, making contact, just a hands up. That's a bad shot for them, and what's a bad shot make? Makes a fast break. Kev gets the bucket there because of that defensive stop. Good little turnover and score. So here we are in the second half. There was some blokes who were thinking the man-on-man doesn't work and, caused some issues, but we're still playing man-on-man. We're getting a stop here. What you'll find is that we actually played better man-on-man D in the second half than we did in the first half when we actually won the half on the scoreboard. So there's a stop there from the man-on-man. Another example of a really good offense. We haven't fallen into bad habits yet. We're moving the ball around. 3 people have touched the ball. 4 people have touched the ball. 5 people have touched the ball. Wide open Max. Could have jumped straight up and shot that, but decides to take one step and leap into his defender, making it a super tough shot. Maxie, I've told you about this one, mate. Just shoot that ball. No need to jump into defenders, mate. That's a tough shot. That's an easy shot made into a tough shot. We want to avoid that. Back here, again, I get stuck behind the guy because I'm not in between him and the ball. Luckily, able to just get hands up, though, and stop that one. Again, hands up well before he shot it, rather than what we do get stuck in is having hands up when he shoots it, which isn't early enough and not good enough. Lukey, again, probably one that the shot was there, but was it a wide open shot or a great shot? No. And that leads to a fast break basket to them at the other end. Again, an example of bad shots turning into fast breaks and those little mistakes that we make in the second half because we get frazzled or there's too much pressure coming into play. Moving the ball around here, kicking it down low. We did that twice. We got to the free throw line twice. We scored both times. This is a good little offensive play that we need to do more of. Again, so there's the first one. One pass offense, offensive rebound. We kick it straight up. And this sets the tone for the remainder of the game. This is where the breakdown begins. Turnover there, that's probably a bad one since he was behind his defender at the time and Luke, you're at halfway. We don't necessarily need those ones that early. We can move it around and get better ones. Dane, he's dribbled in, tried to go one-on-one and kick it out, which is a good play. We just stumbled a bit there. Lindsay Gaze used to say operation was a success, but the patient died. Well, that's an example of that. It was the right move, but just couldn't capitalise in the end. And here's an example of where we've cut, moved the ball around, get into a nice little position inside. AJ is unable to pick the ball up. That's fine. But again, these little turnovers, this pressure starts to mount, and this is what leads to us totally changing our game plan, reverting to what doesn't work, and we really struggle to score from here. Again, their offense, they're doing what we're talking about doing, moving the ball around side to side, getting it through hands, gives them multiple shots at the basket. Good work on the boards, boxing out. Haven't quite shit the bed yet. We're still moving around. Moving into the corner, though, that makes it tough. Kev does the right thing, getting it out, getting us all set up. That's a good shot. Wide open. We'll take those ones, especially if we've passed the ball around 4 or 5 times to get it. Let's go an easy one here. Why? We didn't have someone in front of them, in between them and the ball, and probably could have got hands up a little bit earlier. But that's a tough basket if we want to look at those. Here's one pass and then dribble into not only 2 of their defenders, both 2 guys got a hand up, but also into one of our own guys as well. Clustering all of that makes it tough. These guys back at the other end, however, moving the ball around, getting it through multiple hands, driving, attacking the zone, trying to get an angle that works. Doesn't come up that time, but great defense there. Again, examples that the defense wasn't doing anything to hurt us in the second half. Dribbling into the corner, that makes it tough again. Kev takes a shot similar to that Luke one where there was a shot there, but he had a hand up. It wasn't wide open. We hadn't moved it around really too many times, and we could have done it without it. One pass offense on a fast break turnaround. Jimmy shoots a 3-pointer. That goes nowhere. Again, another example of how we've gone away from the things we were doing so well in the first half. Now we've got a fast break, but it's actually a 1-on-3 people. AJ's had to dribble around 3 people, and then there's a guy between him and the basket. It's really tough for him. Kicks it out.
Just pulling that out at the very start is probably a safer option. If he had have done that, the next guy cutting through probably would have had a much better angle to get to the basket. We've kicked it out, 1 or 2 passes and a shot. The meltdown's really here now when doing nothing like what we were in the first half. These guys that are scoring, sure, they've had a couple of easy baskets inside, maybe 4 points, but majority of their points have come from fast breaks, and things aren't to do with breakdowns of our man-to-man defence. Another good stop, a result of the good man-to-man defence. This one happens every game, and it happens a few times in this one. Brendan doesn't have his hands up. He's underneath the basket. If you have a look at my eyes where I'm trying to pass this, because his hands are down below his waist, I'm trying to look at how I can do I bounce pass it? Do I throw it straight to him? There's kind of a hand in both places. If he's got his hands up here, that's an easy pass for me to throw up and higher, but because it's not there, it makes it a tough decision for me to make, and that's a turnover. So there's a few baskets that we have had that would be much easier if we just run into the key with hands up, and that's also another thing that we want to start doing. Here's a one-pass offense again, driving into the key against multiple players, forcing up a shot. This is what caused the breakdown. Some good defensive man-on-man defense at the other end. They get a second shot out of it, and get a bucket out of there just from us not being able to get back. But here's another one. We're tired. We're not having hands up. You can see me trying to dribble into the key, trying to draw that defense and pass out. Max, he's got his hands down again. It's forced me to pass the ball down low as a bounce pass, but he's right there at the basket. If I can throw that, if he's got his hands up, making a bigger target above his head, and I can throw that there, that's a basket for us. But it doesn't come off because if I pass it there with his hands at the floor, he's not ready for it, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. So 2 examples almost back to back of how having some hands up would have had 4 points on our plate. Another example here of good man-to-man defense. We get a stop, get a turnover, even though they've played really well to get there. Ball comes on a fast break the other end. Again, we've sewed it up, pulled it out a little bit, which is great. Driven, kicked it off, but Max, again, he's chosen to drive right into the defense instead of just going up and shooting that one. Another one, Maxie, that you need to stamp out of this, but I'm sure you'll come back bigger and better next week. So we've come through the key, again, done the right thing, kicked the ball out. Now we're moving it through hands, multiple people. This is looking a lot better. This is probably one of the second or third time we've done it this half. Again, we've done that. Operation, a success, patient died. We've done the right thing, but probably waiting a bit too long to pass the ball after that drive leads to that turnover. But that's right ideas there, so we'll live with that. Another good man-on-man defensive play there from Kevin. 6 steals, playing man-to-man defense. So again, haven't seen too many signs of the man-to-man defense being an issue for us in the second half. Ball's moving around, getting through hands, one side to the other, drives into the key, creates a gap. Luke's able to go through there and get a bit of a shot as well. I mean, ultimately, it's a bit of a tough one. The guys between him and the basket might have been one to kick out again, but multiple hands, multiple looks, a decent shot that doesn't turn into a fast break, and we're back down the other end. Again, some tough man-on-man D, ends up with a stop at this end. Very few offensive possessions came from poor defense in the second half, or less compared to the first half, as you can see. But they were still able to score 17 points from fast breaks from bad shots. That one, we kicked it around, even though it was only one pass. AJ was open, so it's not a bad one. I mean, ultimately, we don't have any rebounders there yet because we haven't moved the ball around. So a good shot, not a great shot, I guess, for that one. But yeah, I'd be happy if we could live with those and move away from some of these one-pass shots or driving into defensive players like that and doing turnovers. Just going on this little seeking move, I see Kev right on his hip driving this guy. I know he's going to force him to turn, so I'm just standing there waiting for him to turn, knowing he's going to dribble the ball out there like that to then deflect it and get that steal. So, a little trick for you guards, rather than trying to run alongside that defensive player. Take your time, just get to the side there, know he's going to be able to spin around, and then the steal comes when he spins around and you're off to the races. Now that fast break, obviously, none of those guys got back, so they get an easy one as we turn the ball over there or get a bad shot. We go back to moving the ball around. Got through 3 hands that time. Still probably a bit early. There wasn't an open shot. Could have got that one anytime we want. Luckily, we get it back and we're moving the ball around, and that leads to AJ being able to get a bit of a nice little fadeaway there at the end.